Hello, Transurfer and the Transurfing Curious. My name is Renee Garcia, and this is TransurfingTV. Today, creating your own luck and opportunity. This is probably my most favored part of RT, if you will, Reality Transurfing, is that it's very auspicious in nature, really. I mean, when you really get into a solid RT practice, things definitely go more your way more often. You see more opportunity, I mean exponentially, way more opportunity, and luck seems to be something that is like a steady mainstay, at least in my layer of reality. Now, I'm a little bit of an advanced transurfer. I've been doing this about 5 years, and my low is now what used to be my high pre-reality transurfing. So I'm always sort of up on those higher lifelines where lots of luck and opportunity and auspicious events exist, and it is awesome. So I broke it down and kind of gave my little formula here. I'm sorry that my handwriting's so messy. I'm going to lead you guys through it. I kind of envision it like a opportunity and luck tornado flowing in one direction, or like a trade wind or some sort of cycle. And then if I fall back and I start thinking negatively, or I start catastrophizing about something that didn't go my way, I will reverse the cycle and go in the opposite direction. So I maintain awareness about which direction I'm going in, right? Am I staying tuned into the positive? Am I really creating luck and opportunity for myself? Or am I going in the other direction? So these are some of the things that I feel are pertinent to this subject. The first being that you accept or acknowledge that you are worthy of luck and opportunity, right? Especially after you read Reality Transurfing steps 1 through 5. Everything's for everyone, right? We all have access to the same stuff energetically. We are all in the alternative space. We all have access to various lifelines, and it's up to you to decide which lifeline you're going to exist on, which correlates to how much luck and opportunity you are going to see in your reality. So first, I'm worthy, and we all have access to the same stuff. Second, tuned in, staying tuned in. This is really what Vadim is talking about when he says, you know, pay attention to the small win. If you find the coin on the ground, you have to acknowledge that small win first to activate the wave of success, right? Or the wave of fortune. Because what happens is we find the coin on the ground, we savor the phone call that brought us a little bit of something good in our layer of reality, we get a job, something positive happens. When we decide or we choose to focus on that positive event, we start highlighting more information, material, and evidence in our reality to keep that idea going. So if you find a coin and you say to yourself, this is my lucky day, I am encountering the wave of fortune, then your reality is going to present to you all the stuff you need to exponentially build upon that theory you've created for yourself and actually get you to crest a pretty wild wave of fortune. This happens to me often, and it's really, really good. But I also acknowledge the small wins. And you know what? One thing that's really helped me in this, and I know this is going to sound a little silly, and maybe a lot of you do it already, and you don't have any shame around it, but I did, is picking up the coin on the street. Like if I'm walking across a crosswalk and there's a penny on the ground and I know I'm gonna bend over and pick it up and a bunch of people are gonna see me, I don't give a rip, because I know that I need to set my ego aside to acknowledge the smallest win possible to get that luck and opportunity presenting itself, showing up in my reality exponentially, right? So noticing the small wins. Keeping thought frequency high. This is a big one. If you have low thought frequency, or low thought quality rather, and low frequency, you are not going to see things of higher quality in nature. This is finds, this is luck, this is opportunity. Again, these are all high resonating things. All right, so seeking the advantage, that is the next step. This is a big one, because if something goes down in your external environment that seems against your intention, so let's say you have acknowledged a couple small wins and you're tuned into the frequency of the wave of success. But then you get a weird phone call that you owe money for something that you didn't know you owed money for, and you immediately adhere to, oh no, well, this isn't the wave of success, this isn't the wave of fortune, this isn't luck, this is opportunity, this is the antithesis of that. So in doing that, you go about doing the opposite of what the intention is. This is you reversing the cycle in another direction and spinning out of the positive cycle. So seeking the advantage, if you can find it, awesome. If you can't, assume that it's there. So if somebody were to call you and say, hey, you owe this money for this bill and it's due now, we're going to take you to collections, really just know that there is an exact reason why that happened that is going to benefit you long term. Most likely it will present itself to you, but if it does not, just trust that it's there, right? Trust that it's there simply because you do not want to reverse out of this positive cycle. So what is reversing out of the positive cycle? Well, let's start where we left off on seeking the advantage. This would be catastrophizing. Oh my God, I don't have the money. This is the worst thing, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so then at that moment, you are going to highlight information, material, and evidence in your external reality that are going to back up whatever that catastrophizing idea, thought you have. You will definitely find more evidence to support that theory that all is going to hell, right? Negative thinking, keeping on that negative thinking cycle, you are going to lower yourself down onto some of those lower lifelines where less of what you want exists. Now, when we talked about tuning in and noticing the small wins, the polarized version of that, the antithesis of that, is focusing on lack, focusing on what you don't have, focusing on what's missing. All of that stuff, again, if you do that, you are going to create more of that showing up in your external environment exponentially, because that's how it works. So don't ever, ever, ever focus on what you don't have or what is missing. Stay tuned into the small wins instead. Like Vadim Zeland says, focus on what you strive to achieve, not what you don't like, right? So if you feel that you don't have enough money coming in, don't focus on the fact that you don't like that. Focus on what you strive to achieve that will create more opportunity and luck and finances coming in and all that stuff. And then lastly, one of the main no-nos of reality transurfing is telling yourself that luck is for others, or opportunity is for others, or financial success is for others, or higher lifelines are for others, not you. If you cannot acknowledge that luck is in fact for you, opportunity is in fact for you, you are worthy. That variation of reality exists where you have everything you want. If you can't take that first step, then it's going to be really challenging for you to experience some of those higher lifelines, and you're definitely not going to be creating luck or opportunity in your life if you are telling yourself that luck is for others and not for you. And this is really where I come from. I mean, I found at a young age that I could create my own reality. Before that though, I was like, oh God, I'm, from this place and I don't have an education, and, how am I gonna do anything? And I'm destined for a life of lower wage, minimum wage jobs, right? So in that thinking, I am definitely not doing this. I am doing this. I'm doing the naughty one, the bad one, the one that transurfers are not supposed to do. And now I do this, and my practice builds and builds and builds and builds. If I find myself starting to do this, I do a little bit of work to get it reversed and get myself flowing in the opposite direction, and it works. And the best way to keep it flowing in the opposite direction, remind yourself, or in the positive direction rather, remind yourself of these things. You're worthy, tune into it, keep your thoughts high and your frequency high, seek the advantage. Remember this saying, my world is taking care of me, everything's going according to plan, things are working out beautifully and will continue to do so with ease. Read the Transurfing book, watch these videos, be a part, an active member of the Facebook group. Do anything you can to keep luck and opportunity in your mind, and exponentially it will increase, y'all. So remember, like this video and comment below, my world is taking care of me, to enter my daily giveaway for my reprogramming stickers. And thank you so much for watching my video. Bye.